Hi, Groovy Kim here. You know, with regards to healing yourself through meditation, you might want to consider it as a type of self-hypnosis, because that's really kind of what you're doing. At least that's how I'm regarding it, and that's how it seems to be working for me. I try to get myself into a type of a trance. And, you know, meditation isn't just closing your eyes. You need to leave the world, quote unquote, for a little while. And some people do that by making up mind movies. I have a video I made about making up mind movies. Mine happens to be about a sea turtle. Check that out. I'll leave a link about it below. And that's just a hallucination that you make up yourself in your mind and use it to heal your body. So for example, in my mind movie, I make a sea turtle swim around as if she's inside my body, and I picture her under the sea and we swim together, and she goes in the coral reefs, and which I imagine are my joints, and she goes in there and she tends her gardens and heals my osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. And so I use her in my imagination, in my meditations. But that means I have to tune out the TV, the cell phone, the neighbors, the whoever else is in the house, right? The cat, the dog, the bird, whatever else you have going on. So there's techniques to do that. Breathing techniques are very, very important to learn. But just like, individuals, there are lots of varied ways to utilize breathing techniques. But the main reason is to slow your system down. If you're full of stress and your mind is racing, you're not going to have a successful meditation. It's pretty much going to be worthless because you're not going to be able to settle down. So you've got to concentrate on your breathing and learn some breathing techniques. It's well worth it because it will allow your meditation to actually work. So here is a technique I learned from Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it involves bringing your breath up through your body in your mind's eye as if you have a giant straw inside, so that when you inhale, you begin from your tailbone and pretend that your breath starts there. And when you inhale, you squeeze the pelvic floor muscles and you draw your breath up. And then you squeeze your abdomen like you're making your belly button touch your spine. And as you continue to draw the breath up like a giant straw inside, you picture it in your mind's eye coming to your heart, and you allow yourself to feel love, and then you, in your mind's eye, feel it like it's continuing up the large straw with your breath. And this is all in one big giant breath, right? But nice and slow. And then you continue it on up to the top of your head, right? Squeezing those muscles I was talking about, your pelvic floor. Ladies, we call it your Kegel muscles. It's the same muscle you use to eliminate with. Your rectal muscles. When you squeeze those as you inhale, and then pull it up, and then pull your belly button in towards your spine, and bring that breath all the way up to the top of your head. Some people actually tap the top of their head before they do it, so that you'll have a sensation there, and that gives you a focal point to bring your breath to, if that makes sense. So pretend like you're meditating with me right now. What you're going to do is practice the breath, right? So inhale. Squeeze those muscles as you draw it up to the top of your head and hold it for a few seconds, and then let it out nice and slow. Okay? And so you're going to repeat that several times. But you have to go nice and slow and hold your breath at the top. for a few seconds and then let it out purposefully and nice and slow. Breathe in through your nose. That's very important. Physiologically, that's important. Biologically, that's important. Your nasal cavity actually cleanses your breath and can remove bacteria and viruses. And it stimulates the vagus nerve, which is the largest nerve in the body. And when you inhale through your nose, that stimulates that giant nerve that then goes to all the organs of the body, all the major parts of your body. That vagus nerve branches out to. And so that's another reason why you need to pay attention to your breath. Bring it in. Slow your system down. Slow your breathing down. Then you can prepare to connect to the quantum field, which is what you're trying to do when you meditate. And you're trying to release the chemicals that will allow your body to relax. Serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, all the wonderful drugs that people, they use forms of them on the street because they make you feel good. But here's the thing. You have them inside of you already. Your body is a pharmacy. All of your glands, and you have hundreds and hundreds of different little manufacturing glands that are manufacturing hormones and different chemicals all the time. And these chemicals that you're manufacturing all the time are directly related to your thoughts. So when you meditate, you need to slow your breath down, and then you need to connect to the quantum field and those wonderful hallucinations by releasing those chemicals. And when you stimulate your vagus nerve and you bring that breath in to the top, you're also stimulating the pineal gland. Okay? The pineal gland has tiny little crystals in there, and it becomes a receiver. And you increase the magnetic field around your body when you do this. It's measurable. We can measure it. And you've heard of the toroidal field. That's where it goes around your body. It's a magnetic field. And when you stimulate all of that, bring that breath in, close your eyes, lower the lights, and purposely get yourself into a trance-like state. Now, some people use kaleidoscope images. YouTube has some great videos that are nothing but a kaleidoscope that you can stare at for a little bit to get yourself kind of in a trance. And what that does is it basically shuts up the analytical mind. It takes your brain waves from beta to alpha. Beta is where you're analytical. That's your waking life all day long. When you're at work or whatever it is you're doing, you're in beta waves. You have to come down out of that beta wave and bring it to alpha wave. And then if you're really able to stimulate those crystals in the pineal gland, then you can actually start to see kaleidoscopes in your visions. And messages will come to you because your pineal gland is an antenna, and you are tapping into information in the quantum field. Everything that's ever been and that ever will be is in the quantum field, including your healing. And when you tap into it, the body begins to heal. And it wants to vibrate on a certain frequency. The human body has a frequency that's measurable. Each cell in your body has its own frequency, which is measurable. And you disrupt those frequencies with your emotions. When you're upset and you're frustrated or you're worried, you are disrupting those frequencies and causing the cells to be at dis-ease, incoherent frequencies, and which becomes disease. You see, you are born with a quantum computer that most people call your body. But really, that's what it is. It's a quantum computer. And it is so sensitive. You are an entity having a human experience. You are here to experience your avatar. And the experience is it's sight, it's hearing, it's smell, it's touch, feeling, and all kinds of senses that you're not even aware of. Some people are psychics, people who can remote see, which, by the way, is a real thing. The government knows it. They use them all the time. And how do they do those things? They're tapping into the quantum field, and your pineal gland, like I say, is an antenna. It's just a matter of practice. That's it. You actually tap into it anyway without you knowing. That's a whole nother video. But for now, we're concentrating on how to heal your body through meditation. So when you can relax yourself enough and give yourself permission, see, that's huge. You have to give yourself permission to go there, right? And let yourself go into fantasy land, however you want to do that. Some people are able to do that by themselves in a meditation, and some people have a hard time. They just can't shut up their analytical mind. That is so normal, because this does take practice. And so it's perfectly fine to use a guided meditation. And that way, you don't have to listen to your own self. You can listen to somebody else with a really good guided meditation. And one that has hypnosis in it is really good, because that is reprogramming the software to your quantum computer. So you can do it yourself and learn how to do that, or you can have someone else do it for you on YouTube. There's tons of videos that are really good, hypnosis videos. But you have to be open to it and believe in it and think it's going to help you so that it will. Placebo effect is part of it. But also, your brain does not know the difference between fact or fiction. So you can tell it whatever you want. And so if you get yourself into a highly suggestive state, like a trance, in a meditative state, then you can suggest things to your subconscious mind and bypass the analytical mind. And that's what you're trying to do in order to heal your body. At least that's my purpose. And if you're here on my channel, I'm assuming that's your purpose as well, is to heal something. And maybe it's not autoimmune disease. Maybe it's alcoholism. Maybe it's drug abuse. Maybe it's all of that. It really doesn't matter. The point is, you're vibrating for some reason incoherently. And so to figure out how to straighten the wavelength out again and your vibration out so that it's vibrating coherently again, you've got to get these emotions in check, and you've got to figure out how to relax your body so that you're not incoherent all the time and causing inflammation and disease. If you've been out of whack for a long time, for years, like I was, years and years and years, I'm still not totally coherent. I don't know that I ever will be, but boy, I'm a lot more coherent than I was a year ago or 2 years ago. Geez. One thing you do, or I do, I should say, is become the observer. Boy, that helps. Realize that you're an entity having a human experience in this avatar. Become the observer, like third party. I'm not kidding. Try it on for a while and see what happens. Observe yourself, observe your thoughts, observe your words, what you're saying. Don't be judgmental. That doesn't work. Then you disconnect from the quantum field. No judgments, just observe. And you will automatically begin to become a little bit more enlightened. What they call woke, right? So you're given this avatar at birth, and you get to utilize it. You get to use all the senses that you're born with. And the thing is, those senses are highly sensitive because it is a quantum computer. And boy, it's so easy to mess it up. I messed mine up, but good. I got myself an autoimmune disease. And that's from stress for a whole lot of years, known and unknown. Things that I know for sure stressed me out, and things I had no idea were stressing me out. But over time, it's a tangled web of all these teeny tiny microsystems no longer playing in the same band. It's a symphony. Your body is a quantum computer, and it is a teeny tiny microscopic symphony of chemicals and vibrations and magnetic fields. And they're supposed to all work together like a symphony. And when you've got a section over here that's banging a drum out of beat, and then the horn section over here is going, they're all over the place and they're not even in key. Inflammation. Turns into cancer. Turns into all kinds of terrible stuff. Autoimmune diseases. And this stuff can be reversed. Go figure. What's so wild to me to find out is that this stuff isn't new. Ancient wisdom knows about all this already. It's like our Western culture forgot about it. As soon as we started having the Industrial Revolution and all these wonderful revelations in science, Newtonian science, we figured out a pill for this and a surgery for that and radiation for this. And what we didn't realize is we actually have all of those powers already in our quantum computer if we only learned how to utilize it. I'm not an expert, but I've learned just enough to heal myself, just enough to realize, holy crap, this is real. Maybe it's time to share a picture or two with you. I'm a little nervous because it's scary. I'm scared of it a little bit because it's powerful. All right. I couldn't hold a coffee cup. I'll let you see one, okay? I couldn't hold a coffee cup. Look at that. My hands hurt so bad, I had to quickly take that picture because try not to get emotional. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to write again. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was not able to dress myself, let alone use the bathroom. That's right. Fun subject, right? So what did I do? I dove in deep. I began to believe real hard. I realized if I'm going to make this work, I better really believe. So in my meditation, well, let me back up. I actually started doing things like looking up pictures online of beautiful hands, and I would stare at them, and then I would close my eye and try to picture the pretty hand, the ungnarly hand, not mine. Oh, by the way, I would pick out one too that most resembled my hands when they weren't gnarled, when I was young, right before the onset of rheumatoid arthritis before they became gnarled and I could no longer straighten out my fingers and my thumb. And I would stare at those pictures online, close my eyes, and then meditate on the good picture and pretend that's my hand and go through each thumb and each finger one by one and picture those joints being straightened out. And I mean, over time it worked. Compare that picture. Can you see? My thumb is straight now. I can, where's my cup? Hold on, I'll get my cup. My hand fits around my cup now perfectly. Boy, the lighting is poopy when I do that, isn't it? I'm sorry. But you see? There, maybe that's better. You see? No more weird gnarled knuckles. No more weird, and no pain. That's the main thing, right? No pain. Absolutely no pain. I can do this. I can do individual. These were popping in and out of joint constantly. I couldn't even pull my pants up or pull my covers up in my sleep without waking myself up screaming in pain. Listen, that hasn't happened in a whole year now. That used to be a regular thing. And when I started meditating and practicing in my mind's eye these fantasies I would make up of things healing me, like my sea turtle Honu, who knew? Who knew it would be Honu, right? That's a whole nother story. Watch my mind movie sea turtle video. You'll understand and get a giggle at what I'm saying. Anywho, find a way to connect to the quantum field. Find a way to get yourself into a trance. Music works great. Pick something without lyrics, though, because you don't want your analytical mind getting in the way. You want to be full on fantasy so that you can make this work and heal your body. Because remember, placebo effect really does work, and that's because your analytical mind gets in the way. But if you can get that out of the way, your subconscious mind has no idea real and fantasy. And if you think you're being healed, your body will start to act as if it's healing, and you will release the corresponding meds, for lack of a better word, the corresponding chemicals from your glands and from your own body. You have your own pharmacy. You are your own pharmacist. You have permission to write that prescription, and it's one you want. It's the natural one. It's the one you already have. You just have to learn how to use it and connect. And then when you're not meditating, got to maintain that feeling of happiness and love, joy. Those are the higher vibrations. Those are the ones that will let your cells vibrate on a frequency where they can repair and rejuvenate. When you are vibrating on a near incoherent frequency, they become inflamed and they cannot repair. And over time, that causes disease. Okay, so we're learning all this together, right? But you have to believe that you are that powerful. You know, sometimes I walk around and I pretend in my head that I'm a medicine woman and that I have powers. What's that latest movie that's out now? Wonder Woman. There we go. Or if you're a man, think of your favorite superhero or whatever it is. It really doesn't matter. And you know, don't be cocky. But walk around and have your own little secret in your head, right? It's your little secret that you have a power, a superpower. Because you really do. You really honestly do. So act like it, because you'll start to heal, and because your body doesn't know the difference. Start teaching it. Start teaching your body as if it's already happened. You can teach your body the future, and then it comes to you. That's the laws of the quantum physics. Act as if it's so, you attract it to you. That's really groovy.